Hello, everyone. Today I'm coming to you on the start of Easter weekend, and really wanted to talk about what pausing. And this is considered in certain religions, certainly in mine, as a practice religion, as one of the most sacred periods of the year in which we celebrate theoretically the death and resurgence of Jesus from the cross. And so tomorrow is Good Friday. Of course, it kind of snuck up on me last week that I realized, oh my goodness, Easter is this particular week. And on Good Friday, I do not, we don't eat anything but fish and vegetables. But the only meat we consume is fish out of respect. And it's considered, as I said, a very religious period. In fact, what's in demand on Easter weekend is baptisms. A lot of people want their children baptized on this weekend. I was blessed to have one of my children baptized on an Easter weekend, and of course, the family was delighted because it truly is seen as one of the most blessed moments to do that particular religious ritual. But where I want to really take the discussion is in the pause piece of it, because it isn't just about tradition. It's really about a divine invitation to reflect, to release and rise. And very much Good Friday as a particular day leads to resurrection. And I wanted us to know that we too are capable, very much capable, of dying to what no longer serves us. Think of it as a closing down, no different to a flower wilting. We have the ability to make those choices and to, metaphorically die from what no longer serves us and choosing instead to reboot into something so much higher. So in today's, today I want a moment to talk about the empowerment or the power of honoring sacred pauses in life, like Easter, like Good Friday, like the moments when life just brings us to a halt. Right? We had that. We saw the beauty that came out of actually taking a pause. And it doesn't necessarily have to be done as setbacks. We constantly think that it has to be pandemic or something to give us pause. We can actually choose and select to pause. And as setups, in that pause, it becomes a setup for powerful internal transformation. And why pauses are so potent, it does something that we have a hard time doing. For many people cannot be silent for even a minute, furthermore, 30 seconds. And there's power in silence. And that's really what pausing is all about, is how still can you be? How silent can you be? How long can you do it for? And what do you actually hear from a sensory perspective, both hearing, feeling, touching? What feelings come up when you go silent? And a lot of times we run from those types of stimulus. So, it's a pause, it's a sacred pause moment. And it comes through religious belief, and that's fine. But do you embrace it? I certainly am looking forward to the pause. And really, life gives us these pauses to grieve, to rest, for stillness, as I mentioned. And even here's one that you probably didn't think would be in the list, even for discomfort. because in discomfort, there's growth. So sometimes life delivers discomfort. And and when we honor it, when we actually step into these things, mourning, resting, silence and stillness, discomfort, a lot of clarity gets delivered to us and restoration of our energy, of our bodies, of our minds. That is the gift that we get from pausing. So I'd love if you could share traditions, your traditions of how you celebrate this time. If you do, I understand, people follow different traditions. But if this is one of your traditions, do you follow the tradition of eating only fish? Or not consuming commercially on Good Friday? And what I mean by that, I make sure tonight, I'll make sure I have a full tank of gas. I'll make sure I buy anything I need to buy because there will be no spending tomorrow. There will be no consumption of commercially available services tomorrow for us. So I'm not trying, this is not a preaching moment. It's just a sharing and to show how intentional practices can keep you connected to your values and your belief. And that's not a bad thing. That's keeping you grounded. That's returning you to some grounding that in the hectic pace of life, we can easily forget. And it's also about shifting. And I keep talking about these shifts because one of my things is change your perspective to change your life. And in order to change your perspective, you need to do a shift. It doesn't have to be a fundamental shift. It doesn't have to be a noticeable shift. It just has to be a shift. So think about, what you are ready to release. Think about what shifts you want to make. What needs to, as I said, um, metaphorically die within for you to rise and tap into untapped potential, into untapped brilliance, into untapped vitality, into longevity. What has to happen? And for me, Reboot teaches us how to honor the pauses, shift our state, and how to consciously come back into life with alignment and massive clarity. So these are things I just wanted to drop in today because you will not see me tomorrow and really just share some of the things that went through my head today as I prepare for the Easter weekend. And also, more importantly, to wish you all happy Easter, great egg hunting if you do that, and a day of sacred pause for tomorrow if you do that. And with that, until next time.